Hi, this is Yoav again, and welcome to week 2 and task number 1. And for many of you, this might be the most valuable task of them all, because a lot of binge eaters are pretty selfless, and they care, and caring for others is often dramatically more important for them than caring for themselves. So what you'll do in this task is create a strong connection between how you want to help others and your food plan. In essence, by positioning your food plan as one of the main tools you'll use to achieve your contribution to others, will create a very strong source of motivation for you that you can use to abide to your food rules, to use the NBA tools. So, are you ready? Okay. The first part of this task is to exactly define what contribution you want to bring to the world. And you do this by summing up the contribution from the contribution and the influence the most influential people in your world have brought into your life. So you want to kind of understand who those people were, understand what they contributed to your life, and kind of distill it into, the sum of contributions they had on you. Here's how it looks like. Okay, so the people who have contributed or influenced my life the most are my wife, my father, Dr. Glenn Livingston, aka Buddy, and my dear friend Shlomo Bezem. What you want to do is begin by describing how you picture them in your mind, because that helps you kind of focus on who they are and your relationship with them and what they did for you and how they influenced you. And then what you want to do is you want to describe the influence they've had on you. And this was a very emotional and inspiring process for me. I'll just read one segment I wrote about my dad, but every single one of those was amazing to do. So my dad was simultaneously kind and strict. He would do anything for his family and friends, but at the same time, everything had to be in place and especially on time. I learned to respect other people from him, but also to set boundaries and to be clear about my expectations from others. It truly was his way or the highway with him. He wouldn't be any nasty to anyone, really, he wouldn't. But if you didn't do what you said you were going to do, or if you didn't show up when you were supposed to, he would disengage with you, often permanently. He was also a very loving and kind man, and as I said before, everybody loved him dearly. I learned from him how to go all out for my family, friends, and how to stand up to bullies, and how to follow the rules, and especially how to show up on time. So when you go through this, you'll discover a lot of things about yourself and about your core values, and this is a transformational process. So this is the first part. What you do when you're done describing the influences of the most influential people in your life, you write out a little summary about the culmination of all those influences. So let me take you through this. I've learned how to truly love and be kind even when faced with overwhelming challenges. I've learned to stand up to bullies, go all out for my family, friends, and tribe, but at the same time draw clear boundaries and be very clear about my expectations from others. I've learned how to persuade people to do the right thing for them and for others on a mass scale by truly listening to them and by using my intelligence without being obnoxious. I've also learned how to be resilient, tough, and persistent, might have spelled that better, in business, but at the same time be optimistic, fair, and supportive. I've also learned you can transform your thinking, your body, your mind, and your life completely by employing love, kindness, and logic. So prior to doing this, I did not have a clear understanding of what all these people brought into my life. And just doing this one part of the task was amazing. Like, I was blown away. This is just the first part. So let's move on to the second part. Now you want to take a break. It might be 24 hours, might be less, because up until now you've already put in a lot of work, a lot of emotional work. So you want to take a little break to recover. But the second part is where you describe how you want to influence the people in your life. So how you want to contribute to others. And basically I want to contribute to my boys. And this is the contribution I want to bring into their life. I want to influence and contribute to my wife, which I love dearly. And this is what I want to do for her. I want to help Glenn and Shlomo, my business partners, or as I call them, the two idiots. Shouldn't have said that, but that's the way it is. I love them. Really, I do. And then on a bigger scale, I would like to contribute and influence my employees. So there's a whole bunch of groups you might want to influence, like your extended family, your circle of friends, your employees or employers, church members, other local organizations. I chose to focus on the people in my company, my co-workers, my employees. And on a larger scale, I chose to focus on every person I can reach, together with Glenn, that is suffering from binge eating and overeating. So those were the people, the specific people, and the groups I'd like to influence. And then I described how I want to do that for each of them. Then finally, I took all that, and that's the third part of this task, and integrated it back into my big why. Now, what you want to do here is you want to take your previous big why and add the new insight, and actually edited out some of my first big why, because as I did this task, it became very clear to me that my contribution to others is way more important for me than, let's say, my achievements, my sports achievements. And I wanted to make room for my contributions, so I edited out a lot of the previous big why. That's perfectly okay. You'll probably do the same. And let me read the result for you real quick, and then I'll let you go on and do your own thing. So, I comply with my food plan and aggressively refute my pig 100% at all times, because that will allow me to proudly look. This is the old part. This is what remained of the old big why. Proudly look at the mirror and see a handsome, kind-eyed, confident and determined man. It will allow me to feel invincible, that I can do anything I set my mind to face great challenges with determination and perseverance, with the knowledge that I have time to achieve my goals, because I have the patience, the longevity, and the mental toughness to get where I want to. And this is the new part. This is the contribution to other part. I also comply with my food plan and refute my pig 100% at all times, because I want to show my boys that it is possible to live a happy, full, loving, and kind life and still accomplish their dreams. That no matter how hard life gets, they can use their internal energy, their integrity, and their love and brain to do whatever they want to accomplish. And even if they go through really tough times, and even if they make mistakes that are seemingly impossible to recover from, like being 100 pounds overweight, which I was, they can always bounce back and do whatever they set out to do. I want to help my beautiful, smart, loving wife to see how truly amazing she is, and set up some more boundaries for herself. I also want to make her happy and to create enough income so that she's never worried about finances and that so we could live a happy, fun life full of love, kindness, and adventure. I want to repay those two idiots, my business partners, for the amazing things they've taught me and for the chances they've given me along the way. They deserve to be very successful in business, and I intend to do my part to make it so. I want every employee in Never Binge Again to use the principles of Never Binge Again, to grow as much as possible, to be able to improve their lives, their families' lives, and the world. I see Never Binge Again as a stepping stone that will allow each and every one of its employees to reach their full potential, thus creating a ripple effect through society, through their work with us, and after they move on. And finally, I want to help at least 100 million people stop overeating, binge eating, and live a happy, fit, healthy, and fulfilled life through the work Glenn and I do in Never Binge Again. And that is why I love my food plan and refute my pig 100% of the time, because they are the tools I use daily to make this vision into a reality. So for me, this gave me goosebumps. So when I read this, like, okay, let's do this. Like, the food plan is sacred, the refutations are sacred. I will 100% do them, no doubt. I encourage you to go on and create your version of this. This is extremely effective. And just remember to make the connection at the end to your food plan and to the refutations, because those are the tools you're going to use to bring about this vision. So it ties it back to the actual practice, and it's very important. I know you'll get a lot out of it. Go do this, and I'll see you in the next video.